Okay, so I literally got like no sleep last night, and so I thought, well, I'm up at midnight. Shaun the Sheep Farmagedno is premiering on Netflix tonight, so I just popped it on and I watched the whole movie, and now I'm reviewing it. So I watched it earlier than I expected, I guess. I was pretty excited for this movie. I'm a huge Wallace and Gromit fan. And Wallace and Gromit is created by this animation studio in the UK called Aardman. They have made a lot of good movies, honestly. Chicken Run is one of the greatest stop motion films ever made. Early Man isn't great, but I do think it's okay, and I think it's got some funny gags, and I think it's a good movie. Arthur Christmas is not really a movie I like, but it's a really smart, well-written movie. And I don't actually own those movies. I probably should get those. Curse the Were-Rabbit's great. All three of these Wallace and Gromit shorts are all great. This is like the collection of them on Blu-ray. Grand Day Out is the first one. Fantastic exercise in just the use of stop motion. It's just a great short. The Wrong Trousers, which is just so much fun. A Close Shave is actually the short that Shaun appeared in. And then A Matter of Loaf and Death is just one of my favorite. That's probably my favorite short in this collection. I haven't seen these actually in a while. I should probably revisit these. If you want to see a review of these, let me know. I'm probably going to do it anyways. But we'll see what happens. And I love most of their work. I think, oh yeah, I also love Flushed Away and different things. They're a great studio. And Shaun the Sheep is a great movie. It's a simple little movie. If you don't know Shaun the Sheep, it's a series kind of spin-off of Wallace and Gromit about this sheep and Shaun, named Shaun. He kind of, these sheep all do their little animal adventures without the farmer noticing. It's kind of them trying to get everything done before the farmer notices. It's a short series. Like, they're not even 10 minutes of an episode. They're little shorts. And, it's great. They're great shorts. Some are more clever than others, but it's all about the visual gags and the dry comedy of these shorts. They're actually pretty well made. The animation, of course, is gorgeous. It was kind of interesting that when they said they were going to make a movie. I thought at one point they were not going to release this here in the United States, and I think they actually weren't planning on to. I think it was a bigger success than what they had planned, but I think Early Man bombed so hard that they couldn't actually, that they just decided from now on they're just going to put their stuff on Netflix, which I think is a smarter move because theaters are dying. So in the US, it's now on Netflix. I suppose I should go over my thoughts on this movie. I think this movie is a great movie. The animation is, of course, great. What I like about it is like the heart of the story. I mean, you watch the show, and it's a simple little show about these sheep, doing things behind their farmer's back and things. And it's about this farmer. He gets, in this movie, he gets lost in the city, but it kind of goes over the heart and why these sheep have such a emotional attachment to their farmer and stuff. And it's actually kind of cute, and it's just a cute little fun movie with actually a pretty, heartful scenes involving the farmer. And I thought that was quite great, and it's something I didn't expect. Like, it's not this thing that's gonna completely emotionally move you or make you cry, but it's something I didn't expect, and I thought it was quite good. And it's a great movie. And I don't know how to say this, but I like Farmageddon a little bit more and a little bit less. It's kind of hard to explain. I think overall I would give this movie an okay, because there are parts of this movie that are really good. The visual gags and animation are a lot funnier. In this movie, Shaun ends up finding this alien it's basically E.T. basically. It's this little alien trying to run from the government and get back home to his family. That's it. That's what it is. Simple as that. And I think that's a great concept for these simple characters because Shaun the Sheep is a very simple series. It's the same plot every single episode. It's not complicated at all. And so while I would complain about like something like that in Bumblebee and it being a little too generic, in this case it really doesn't matter because it's such a simple show that you can't have anything really more complex than that. And so a tiny idea like this is perfect. And the story's simple, but a lot of the visual gags are so freaking clever. There are so many funny ones. I don't even want to spoil any of them. I'm not even going to say them. I recommend that you watch this movie, which is weird that they put this movie on the second one on Netflix, but they didn't put the first one. It's like, how much of Netflix's audience actually has seen this movie? Probably not a lot. I know this is a critically praised movie, if you can see by the garbage Rotten Tomatoes thing, because Rotten Tomatoes is garbage. Fight me. It's, but it's still a pretty critically praised movie. It's a great movie. And a lot of the visual gags are really funny. And I think the problem is, to me, the pop songs in the original movie were kind of used sparingly, and they were used what is it? Every Day Feels Like Summer. That song was used to kind of show the emotional connection that these sheep had to their farmer, and that was kind of the point of that song, right? That song had a point in the movie, and there were some other songs in the movie that were less. They didn't really have a point, but they were not in the movie that much. There's a lot more pop music in this movie, and I hate pop music. I get that's a subjective thing, but it doesn't fit with this movie. There shouldn't be pop music. It's bad. It doesn't matter if I dislike pop music. It still doesn't fit with the movie, and it just shouldn't have been here. I think also the little alien, I don't really feel anything for that. I felt more for the farmer thing. And I think this movie kind of lost the emotion, or at least the heart of the first movie. I think it's a funnier movie with a lot funnier visual gags. Because if you don't know the show, there is not dialogue. It's just these animal noises, and the people talk like I'm not doing it exactly accurately. Gosh, I cannot speak today. But they don't speak English, so it is more about the visual gags and kind of just the creative humor with that. And there's some kind of visual gags and some dry humor and stuff. It's good stuff, but I think this movie has a lot more funnier gags and different things. But I also think the alien was kind of annoying. I thought it was going to be like that in the original trailer, and it was. In this movie, because he's just kind of this blob with a dog head. It's not really a creative design, and the whole time, they've had aliens in Shaun the Sheep that look better than this. It's not good, and he just goes around copying the noises of the other animals. It'd been nice if they had a Pacific noise that he made, and the characters kind of learned to communicate and stuff, and they could have some visual gags with that and stuff. I don't know. I would have preferred that, but overall, I still think this is a pretty good movie. I think it's not as good as the first. I think there are things that are definitely better and improved here. I just think the first movie has more of the heart and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird thinking Shaun the Sheep is now a film franchise, because it is just shorts. They're not even 10-minute shorts. They're about 5 to 6 minute shorts, and they're good shorts. I love those shorts. I should probably get them on DVD at some point. They're pretty good shorts, and I think they're really entertaining if you have like kids and stuff, but they're also just really smart in their own right. And it's something pretty cool and clever, and I think it's better for something like this to be on Netflix because this is only going to really hit a niche audience. It's not going to be everyone's, man, this is a great movie. I think if you have the time and patience and you like things with no dialogue and things like that, putting this in a theater is just not good for this movie. And because I don't really know a lot of people who go to the theater to go see something like this. I would because I'm a fan, and there are fans of Aardman and their stuff. And in fact, there's a lot of people who like it, but it's a small group of people. Like, it's not a super huge group of people who are like, yeah, Aardman, I know exactly what that is, and I love their work. And a lot of people don't know. A lot of people are kind of just ignorant to what Aardman is, and a lot of people just don't know what stop motion is, honestly. I love stop motion. In fact, it's one of my favorite types of movie, I would say. Like, just types of animated movie, but just my favorite way of, like, filmmaking, honestly, because it's so experimental, so cool. I mean, even the movies I don't really like that much, like, I like Gumby the movie a little bit, but, like, it's kind of weird and bizarre. Just other things like that. I mean, I think they're all so experimental that I almost just like have to like them in a way, and or at least like appreciate them. Most of I've been watching stop motion movies since like I don't know how old I was, but my favorite movie is Fantastic Mr. Fox with stop motion. I think my top 5 is like it's in my top 10 or 5. I love Dogs. I love Coraline, Paranorman, Box Trolls, Kubo and the Two Strings, Missing Link, Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie, James and the Giant Pete's. I used to love that movie, but honestly, it's such a weird and bizarre movie. I kind of changed on it. It's kind of garbage. That was nasty. Like, I just have it so clogged in there, but it's a great movie. It's a great way to make movies. I think it's cool. It's literally people taking these little puppets that they make with gears and stuff and fabric and different things, and they move these little puppets hand by hand. And I was watching a commentary on a Shaun the Sheep DVD where they were talking about how they do it, and like there's the dog here, right? Let's say this dog wanted to lick a lollipop. Well, they would have to shoot this image moving every 5 seconds for like 2 days to get it to lick the lollipop. Like, that's how long and crazy this stuff is. It took them 2 days just to get a tiny image of a dog licking a lollipop. And this is not even one of the most experimental stop motion movies. I mean, there's a lot better and more experimental stuff. It's a huge craft that I am like completely obsessed with. I think it's phenomenal, interesting stuff. I forgot to mention Pirates Band of Misfits when I was talking about Aardman's films. That's another great movie. I love that movie too. I think that one's a really funny comedy. But that's kind of Aardman in a nutshell. Great studio. Check out their work if you haven't. They need it. They always could use a little bit more love. Yeah.